My name is Amanda Peterson. I'm 35 years old. I never imagined my own parents would try to steal from me. The country house my grandmother left me was my sanctuary, the only place that truly felt like home. One Sunday, walking down the hallway, I froze. From the kitchen, I heard my parents whispering. They were planning to sell my house, to give the money to my pregnant sister, Cassandra. That was the night I realized. My family would take everything if I let them. Before I continue, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. And hit subscribe if you've ever stood up when family crossed the line. I still remember the creak of Grandma's porch swing, the way summer air carried the smell of apple pie, her weathered hands folding mine, her voice steady. Never let anyone take advantage of your kind heart. Not even family, especially family. At the time, I thought she was being protective. Now, I realize she was warning me. The farmhouse was more than property. It was history, love, and belonging. When she died, her will named me the heir. She left me the house and a letter. You are the only one who loves this land. This house is part of who you are. Those words shaped everything I did next. I poured my savings into that place. I fixed the plumbing, rewired the lights. I polished the floors until they shone. I replanted the garden with heirloom seeds. Every weekend, I drove out to restore it. Friday night to Sunday evening, it healed me. Meanwhile, Cassandra lived in chaos. New jobs, new boyfriends, new excuses. My parents excused every failure, every collapse. She's sensitive, my mother always said gently. She needs understanding, my father repeated. But my own success? A nod, a change of subject, silence. I was the dependable one, never celebrated. And when Cassandra needed money, she called me. Emergencies, she insisted. I always said yes. Not once did repayment follow. I convinced myself it was duty, but resentment grew, layer by layer. Then came the pregnancy announcement. My parents lit up with pride. This changes everything, my mother declared. The spotlight shifted entirely to Cassandra. Her tiny apartment suddenly wasn't enough. She needs space for the baby, my mother fretted. Rent is too high, my father sighed. Both of them turned their eyes on me. I braced myself for the familiar request. Help, money, sacrifice again. But I had no idea. This time, they weren't going to ask. They were planning to take. That Sunday dinner confirmed my worst fears. After dessert, my father cleared his throat. Amanda, we want to discuss your grandmother's house. My house, I corrected softly, already uneasy. He forced a calm smile. Yes, but Cassandra needs space for the baby. My mother's tone turned syrupy sweet. Be practical, dear. You only use it on weekends. I set my coffee cup down carefully. My hands trembled under the table. So you're asking me to give it up? To sell my house for Cassandra? Not give up, my father snapped. You'll get part of the proceeds, too. The audacity left me speechless. Cassandra finally looked up from her phone. The second bedroom gets such good light. It'll be perfect for the nursery, she smiled. As if the decision was already made. As if my voice didn't matter. I stood abruptly, chair scraping hard. This house is mine. I won't sell it. Not now, not ever. My mother gasped. Don't be difficult, Amanda. This is what families do. I forced a bitter laugh. Support goes both ways, Mom. When has anyone supported me? A silence fell over the table. Tyler muttered nervously. Maybe another time. There's nothing to discuss, I replied. The house stays mine. Then I grabbed my purse and walked out. The slam of the door echoed behind me. Days later, the phone calls never stopped. My mother pleading, my father pressuring. Texts from Cassandra filled with baby furniture pictures, as if she already owned my rooms. Then came my father's chilling message. We've scheduled an open house next Saturday. I called immediately, my voice shaking. You had no right. Cancel it. We still have the spare key, he said smoothly. Don't worry, we'll handle everything. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. This wasn't persuasion anymore. It was trespass. It was theft. I dialed my best friend Stephanie, nearly in tears. They arranged an open house for my house. Her gasp was sharp. That's not inconsiderate, Amanda. That's illegal. They don't care about legal. Only Cassandra, I whispered. Stephanie's tone hardened. Then stop letting them decide your life. Fight back. That night I stared at the ceiling in bed. Grandma's words rang in my ears. Never let anyone take advantage of your kind heart. Not even family. Especially family. I realized I had enabled them for years. And it was about to end. A decision formed. Sharp, terrifying, liberating. I wouldn't just refuse to sell. I would sell it myself. On my terms. To someone I trusted. If they wanted the house gone, fine. But they would never profit from my silence again. The next morning, I acted fast. At my broker's office, I said firmly, I want to list my property right away. Within days, photos were taken, the listing polished. I priced it slightly low for immediate interest. And then Gabriel Jackson walked through the door. He admired the staircase, the creaking floors. In the studio, he grew quiet. My late wife always wanted light like this. His respect for the house was clear. That evening, his agent called. Full price, clean offer, quick closing. I signed without hesitation. 2 weeks later, the deal was done. The farmhouse was no longer mine. I left with funds secured, my hands trembling. The papers were final, yet my heart still raced. But my family still didn't know. I knew confrontation was coming. It came faster than I expected. One Saturday, my father called in panic. "There's someone in your house," he shouted. We came to measure for the nursery. I used the spare key and a man was inside. He threatened to call the police. I drove straight there, chest tight with dread. The scene was surreal. A police car in the driveway. My mother pale on the porch steps. Cassandra sobbing in the car. My father arguing furiously with the officer. And Gabriel, calm as ever, standing nearby. "Amanda," my father cried in relief. "Tell them this is your house. Tell them we had permission to be here." I steadied myself, the moment had arrived. "Actually," I said clearly, "this isn't my house anymore. I sold it 2 weeks ago to Mr. Jackson." The silence was heavy, cutting the air. Even Cassandra's sobs stopped. My father's face twisted in shock. My mother's mouth opened, then snapped shut. "You had no right," my father roared. I met his eyes steadily. I had every right. It was mine legally. The officer frowned, glancing at Gabriel. "Do you want to press charges for trespassing?" "No," Gabriel said softly, "as long as they leave now." Cassandra stumbled forward, eyes blazing. "How could you do this to me?" she screamed. "To my baby, we needed that house." "You needed a home," I answered evenly. "Not specifically mine." Her words dissolved into sobs. My father dragged her back to the car. The officer made his note and left. And I stood in the gravel driveway, trembling. The cold air stung my skin, yet I felt lighter. It was finally over. The truth was out. For the first time, I wasn't their victim. I had chosen my own ending. In the days after the confrontation, chaos erupted. My phone filled with angry calls and texts. My father sent a letter demanding money. He claimed the sale proceeds were family funds. My mother left tearful voicemails. "You've destroyed this family, Amanda. How could you?" Cassandra blocked me everywhere, her silence deliberate. Relatives soon weighed in with judgment. Some asked if I truly betrayed everyone. A few whispered I was right to resist. But the louder story painted me as selfish. The career woman who chose money over blood. One night, an unexpected message arrived from Tyler. "Can we meet? Just you and me." At the cafe, he looked exhausted. "There are things you should know," he confessed. He admitted they weren't desperate at all. He had a stable IT job, good benefits. Their apartment was small but affordable. He'd even been saving for a condo. "I never wanted your house," he said. But Cassandra insisted. Her parents promised it already. My stomach turned as clarity struck. This was never about Cassandra's survival. It was about my parents' pride. They wanted to appear generous without paying themselves, so they targeted my inheritance. I dug deeper with my real estate contacts. What I found chilled me further. 6 months earlier, my parents refinanced their home. They pulled out equity, enough to help Cassandra. They had the means all along. They simply chose not to use it. Armed with this knowledge, I made a choice. No more whispered guilt, no more secrecy. This time I would confront them openly. That Sunday, I arrived early for dinner. I set a thick folder on the table. Transfers, texts, and refinance records inside. When my parents entered, they froze at the sight. "This is everything you've hidden," I said coldly. "All the proof you exploited me." My father's face flushed red. "That's outrageous. We only wanted fairness." "Fairness?" I snapped, my voice sharp. "Fairness means asking. Fairness means respect. You plotted to take what was never yours." Cassandra shifted uneasily beside them. For the first time, doubt crossed her face. She whispered, "Is this true?" Neither parent answered. Silence spoke louder than words. I straightened my shoulders, stronger than ever. "You told me family comes first. Well, I'm finally putting myself first. I won't fund your lies anymore." The weeks after that showdown felt strangely quiet. No more daily calls, no more demands. For the first time in years, I could breathe. I focused on work and my career thrived. Without the financial drain, I saved thousands. My student loans finally began to shrink. Each payment felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. But family tension lingered like smoke. My parents alternated between silence and guilt trips. Cassandra avoided me, her pride still raw. And yet something unexpected happened. One afternoon, Tyler texted a photo. A baby girl, wrapped in a pink blanket. "Her name is Lily. Thought you'd want to know." My throat tightened as I stared at her face. An innocent life caught in our storm. I made a decision then. I opened an account, set up a trust. A college fund for Lily, untouchable by anyone. Not for my sister, not for my parents, but for her future alone. When Tyler thanked me, my heart steadied. I wasn't doing it for approval. I was doing it to honor Grandma's legacy. She believed in giving wisely, with boundaries. Now I finally understood her lesson. Months later, my mother called unexpectedly. Her voice sounded older, softer, hesitant. "Tyler told us what you did for Lily," she said. "That was thoughtful of you." I listened in silence, waiting. After a pause, she admitted quietly, "We should have asked, not assumed." It wasn't a full apology, but it was a start. That weekend, I met Lily for the first time. Holding her tiny hand, I felt something shift. For her sake, I was willing to try again, but this time on my terms. No more blind obedience. No more sacrificing myself to keep peace. Family mattered, but so did I. I looked at my niece and smiled. Maybe this was the fresh start we all needed. A chance to rebuild on respect, not exploitation. Because in the end, I had learned the truth. Family love should never demand your self-respect. Real family support goes both ways. And sometimes, the only way to protect yourself is to finally choose yourself. And if this story touched your heart, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Don't forget to subscribe for more true family betrayal stories that remind us we are stronger than we think.